Your paycheck arrives. For a few minutes, you feel richer. Then the money begins disappearing. Rent takes its share. The credit card takes another. Groceries, electricity, subscriptions, insurance, transportation. By the end of the month, you look at what remains and tell yourself the same thing. I'll save next month, but next month looks strangely similar. This is how someone can earn money for years and still have almost nothing that truly belongs to them. The problem may not be how much you earn, it may be who gets paid first. Imagine a worker in an ancient marketplace receiving 10 coins for his labor. Before he reaches home, 1 coin goes to the baker, another goes to the cloth merchant. Several more are promised to his landlord and creditors. He buys something his family needs, enjoys something for himself, and slowly the weight of the purse at his side becomes lighter. Soon, all 10 coins are gone. He worked for them, he earned them. Yet everyone else received a portion of his labor except him. Now imagine that the next time he receives 10 coins, he makes one small change. Before paying anyone or thinking about what he wants to buy, he removes 1 coin. That coin will not be spent, he keeps it. 9 coins remain for everything else. At first, this seems almost too simple to matter. How could keeping 1 coin change a financial life? But this idea sits at the heart of one of the most powerful wealth principles popularized by the richest man in Babylon. A part of what you earn should become yours to keep. Today, the coins have changed. Your employer may deposit money directly into your bank account. The merchants have become online stores. The marketplace has become your phone. And many expenses can take your money automatically before you even think about them, but the question remains the same. Who receives the first claim on your income? Most people receive money and immediately ask, "What do I need to pay?" A wealth-building system asks a different question first: what portion of this money will I keep? Because if saving depends on whatever remains at the end of the month, your future must compete against every bill, desire, convenience, and unexpected expense that appears before then. And there is always something, so before you spend your next paycheck, pay yourself first. Move a predetermined portion away from your spending money. 10% is a classic reference point associated with this principle. But if that amount would interfere with essential obligations, start with an amount you can realistically maintain. The exact percentage is less important at the beginning than changing the order: earn, keep, then spend. But changing the order creates a new question. If you take money away before spending, how do you actually live on what remains? Suppose you earn $3,000 this month. Your plan is simple: pay everything, live normally, and save whatever remains. Then life happens. Rent is due. You buy groceries. A subscription renews. You go out with friends. A few small purchases appear. None of them seems financially dangerous, but by the final week, there is almost nothing left to save. The problem is hidden inside the formula: income minus spending equals savings. Saving receives whatever survives. Paying yourself first reverses the priority. Income minus savings equals what is available to spend. Suppose your $3,000 paycheck arrives and you immediately move $300 away from your everyday spending account. You now see $1,700 available. That creates a constraint, and constraints change behavior. Maybe you cook at home one additional night. Maybe you cancel a subscription you barely use. Maybe you wait before buying something impulsively. Nothing magical happened. You simply made part of your income unavailable for ordinary spending before ordinary spending could consume it. That matters because expenses have a tendency to grow toward the amount available. Give yourself $3,000 to spend, and life can often find uses for $3,000. Give yourself $1,700, and you begin making decisions around $1,700. This does not mean ignoring rent, food, debt obligations, insurance, or other necessities. It means treating your financial future as part of your plan instead of hoping it receives whatever happens to survive. And this is why waiting for the perfect month rarely works. There is always another expense. A birthday, a repair, a bill you forgot about. If saving only happens when nothing unexpected happens, it may happen very rarely. A better system moves the decision to the beginning of the month. You decide beforehand, and when possible, You automate that decision around payday. Now saving depends less on whether you still feel disciplined after weeks of spending. But moving $300 into savings does not automatically mean you have kept $300 because you still know the money is there. And when your spending account gets uncomfortable, that saved money can become very tempting. Changing the order is only the first step. Now you have to stop yourself from undoing it. Saving money once is easy. Keeping it saved is harder. Imagine our worker again. He receives 10 coins and puts one aside. For the first time, he has begun accumulating something. A few days later, imagine he sees a beautiful garment in the market. He has enough money for his necessities, but not enough for the garment. Then he remembers the coin he saved. He tells himself, "I'll use it now and replace it when I'm paid again." The coin returns to the market. Next payday, he saves another, then another desire appears. Again, he borrows from himself. Months pass, and although he has repeatedly put coins aside, his purse never becomes heavier. The same thing happens today. You transfer $100 into savings. Then your checking account becomes uncomfortable. So you transfer $50 back. The weekend arrives. Another $80 comes back. By the next paycheck, most of your savings has quietly returned to spending. Technically, you saved. Practically, you postponed spending. Money intended for wealth building needs both a purpose and a boundary. One useful approach is separating your money by function. Your everyday account handles ordinary spending and bills. An emergency fund exists for genuine financial emergencies. Long-term money serves future goals. When every dollar sits in the same account, every dollar feels available. Separation creates friction, and sometimes a little friction protects you from yourself. Modern spending makes this especially important. You no longer need to walk through a marketplace carrying physical coins. A purchase can happen with one tap. Your card information is already stored. Subscriptions renew automatically. The distance between desire and purchase has become incredibly short. Your wealth system should create some distance in the other direction. That may mean keeping long-term money separate from everyday spending. It may mean deciding beforehand what qualifies as a real reason to touch it. Make building wealth easier to repeat and make touching long-term money a deliberate decision. As the balance grows, something else begins to change. Your first $100 may not feel significant. Then it becomes $500, then $1,000. Eventually, you are no longer only someone who earns and consumes. You have begun accumulating capital, and that creates a new temptation. Once people finally have money saved, they often become impatient to make it grow. They protected themselves from spending the money. Now they must protect themselves from risking it carelessly. Saving is only the beginning. Once money starts accumulating, it needs a purpose. Some of it may need to remain accessible for genuine emergencies and near-term needs. Money intended for long-term goals may eventually be invested, so it has the opportunity to grow over time. But the order still matters. First, keep the money, then protect it. Only then think about making long-term money productive. Imagine someone who spends years accumulating $10,000. Then a friend tells him about an opportunity promising extraordinary profits. He does not understand the business. He does not understand where the returns are supposed to come from. He only understands one thing. He wants his $10,000 to become $20,000. That desire can destroy years of discipline. The person who could not wait to save wants fast wealth. The person who finally saved can still want fast wealth. Same impatience, different stage. Paying yourself first teaches you to delay consumption. Protecting what you have accumulated requires the same patience in a different form. Do not allow the desire for faster growth to make you careless with money that took months or years to build. Long-term money can eventually be put to work responsibly according to your goals and circumstances. But understand where your money is going. Understand that returns involve risk. And be cautious with extraordinary returns you cannot clearly explain. Keeping money requires discipline, multiplying it requires patience and judgment. This is why paying yourself first is more than a monthly savings trick. It gives you something worth protecting. Without accumulated money, there is nothing to protect and nothing to put to work. With it, you begin building options, but as your income grows, another threat appears. It does not feel like a threat, it feels like success. You earn more, you can afford more, and slowly, the amount you once considered enough begins to change. There was probably a time when something you now consider ordinary felt like a luxury. Then you bought it often enough, eventually, it became normal. This is why earning more money does not automatically create wealth. Imagine someone earning $4,000 a month. He believes that if he could earn $5,000, he would easily save the extra $1,000. Eventually, his income reaches $5,000. For a while, he feels wealthy. Then he upgrades his apartment, he finances a nicer car. He starts eating at more expensive restaurants, small conveniences multiply. Soon, his monthly expenses are close to $5,000, so he creates a new target. If I could make $6,000, then I could really start saving. The target moved because the lifestyle moved with it. The ancient marketplace had temptations, modern life has made them constant. You can spend money at any hour without leaving your bed. And many purchases are no longer presented through their full cost, they are presented as monthly payments. $15 a month, $39 a month, $89 a month, each amount seems manageable. Together, they can quietly claim a growing share of your income. Paying yourself first creates resistance to this process because it establishes a boundary. Not every additional dollar of income automatically becomes an additional dollar available for consumption. Suppose you receive a raise, you can improve your life. But before allowing your lifestyle to absorb the entire increase, ask, how much of this increase will improve my lifestyle, and how much will improve my wealth? That question forces you to make the decision deliberately. Otherwise, your environment will make it for you. There will always be another upgrade available. Another phone, another trip, another subscription. Another version of your life that costs slightly more than the one you have now. The goal is not to refuse every pleasure. A financial system that makes you miserable is unlikely to survive. The goal is to enjoy your income without allowing your desires to claim every raise before your future receives anything. Because the money you keep can eventually buy something that rarely appears in advertisements: time. Time to handle an emergency. Time to survive a period without income. Time to make a career decision without immediate panic. Over the long term, accumulated wealth can create greater control over your choices. You are purchasing future options, and that brings us back to the paycheck. Because none of these ideas matter if the system is too complicated to repeat. So when your next paycheck arrives, here is exactly what to do before you spend it. Before your next paycheck arrives, decide how much you will keep. Do not make that decision after the money hits your account, make it beforehand. If 10% is realistic for you, it can be a useful starting point. If it would interfere with essential obligations, begin smaller. Choose an amount you can maintain. Then, around payday, move that money away from everyday spending. If possible, automate the transfer. Do not force yourself to win the same argument with yourself every month. Build the decision into the system. Next, give the money a purpose. Some may be building your emergency reserve. Some may serve a long-term goal. The important thing is that money you have decided to keep should not feel available for ordinary spending. Then control what remains. Look at recurring expenses first: subscriptions, housing, transportation, debt payments. Services you no longer use. You do not need to remove everything enjoyable. You need to know where your money is going. Finally, create a rule for raises. When your income grows, increase the amount you keep before your lifestyle absorbs the entire difference. That is the system. Keep something first, give it a purpose, control what remains. And as your income grows, let the amount you keep grow with it. Now return to the worker with 10 coins. In the beginning, every coin he earned eventually belonged to someone else. The baker received one, the merchant received another. His creditors received theirs. His desires received the rest, then he changed the order. Before the marketplace could claim everything, he kept one coin. One coin did not make him wealthy, but it changed the direction of his money. Your paycheck arrives differently, but the decision is the same. Before the money begins disappearing, keep a portion for your future. Do it again on the next payday, then the next. Because repeated decisions become habits, and habits shape where your money goes. If you want more timeless money principles like this, subscribe to Babylon Wealth. Old wisdom, modern money, timeless wealth.